All America, all the time. Sit down, buckle up, and get ready for The Dan Bongino Show.
Folks, I got so much to throw at you in the first couple of minutes here of the show, so I need you to buckle up like they say in the intro there from Pete and just stay tuned. Clip that seatbelt. By the way, Justin, you know my promise about sounding ill, right? You remember over the years? Folks, I feel great. I know I sound terrible. I promised you a long time ago, P1s, you remember? Justin, you remember, right? If I ever felt bad, I would not do a show. Not because I can't do it or I can't tough it out, because there's nothing worse than listening to some host who's sick and you just feel bad for the host and you don't want to listen to the content. I always tell you the story. I was at CPAC once, 10 years ago. Forgive me, P1s, I've heard the story 10 times. But Ann Coulter was giving this great speech, but she was sick and she said, hey, I'm sick. She probably doesn't even know. But I was all the way in the back. I was like a big nobody back then, whatever. And she was like, hey, I'm sick. And I just felt bad for her the whole time. So it always stuck in my head. I caught a little bit of the back to school. My daughter went back to school. You know, I have a younger daughter. And every single year, do you all get it too? Parents in the chat, you get the back to school fungus. I had a little bit of it last week. I am completely over it. I feel amazing. I promise you. I'm not like faking the funk. That's an N. I feel great, okay? I got a bunch of announcements. Today is a big day. First big, huge announcement. I'll get to some of the others after a quick opening break in the show. The great Sean Farish, who you know we love. We've been huge fans of his content. We brought him into the Bongino Inc. family. He launches his show today, Monday, his podcast. Why do I say his podcast? Because I got another announcement coming up in a minute. Now streaming every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, the Sean Farish Show, live, rumble.com/Sean, SHAWN. Don't miss his premiere show today at 1 p.m. Today, Monday, for those of you listening on demand, maybe later, Monday, August 17th. Today's date. I've got some other announcements coming up. I want to take a quick break and a quick thank you to Supervisor of Elections in Martin County and our tax collector, Ruth Petrozewski and Vicky Davis. I voted this week, and listen, the services here in Martin County, Florida, are amazing. It's the only time you ever go to work for local accountable government, and they actually get things right. It couldn't be easier. I never seen anything like it because they're all elected. So it's the craziest thing. So a big thank you to them. Voted this past week. Get out and vote. Tomorrow is the primary down here in Florida. Folks, Patriot Mobile, it isn't just different because of its mission. It's actually built to outperform the other carriers. They offer premium, priority, nationwide service. You like little hand motions there? On any of the 3 major U.S. networks, helping you get the best possible coverage wherever life takes you. For Patriot Mobile, you can even have 2 separate networks on a single device. I have that. Eliminating the need to carry multiple phones and giving you peace of mind you just can't get with other carriers. You need internet on the go? Patriot Mobile Wi-Fi hotspots connect to multiple networks to keep you connected while traveling or working remotely. Works great for me. They also offer international roaming and enterprise solutions for businesses that need dependable connectivity and US-based support. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade, no worries. Switch from your home or office. It just takes a few minutes. Paula switches both over just like that. When you call Patriot Mobile, you'll talk to real people right here in America. Superior coverage, superior products, great company, highly recommend, superior customer service. That's Patriot Mobile. Thank you, Patriot Mobile. Go today to patriotmobile.com/Dan or give them a call at 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code Dan for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT today. Thank you, Patriot Mobile. All right, fellas, Monday bells, my favorite bell. I'm always excited for a new week. Took it easy this weekend. No big weekend update because I didn't really do anything. I was kind of under the weather Saturday morning. Woke up Sunday feeling good. Got a little workout in today. I'm back. I have another big announcement for you folks. I have been teasing for a while. In addition to Sean Farish's podcast launching today at 1 p.m. Eastern time at rumble.com/Sean, this show and other pieces of unique content will be back on the radio. I am now, guys, listen, I think it's pretty clear on this. You may need a little baby violin for the doomers and the bums and the grifters. I know you're upset. I know you're peeing in your diapers, clawing at the faces, howling at the moon. I get it. It's just weird that this happened Monday when last week, can we all agree, like the doomers, grifters, and bums exposed themselves like all at once last week? I think you saw it. I think you saw finally, you saw last week all of them expose themselves like at the same time in unison. I know you're upset. I know you're upset, the doomers and the pillars and the grifters and the bums. I know. You need to seek help about that. I can't help you. I'm only going to aggravate you more going forward. That's it. So I'm sorry, not sorry, as they say on X all the time. Here is the announcement. You can see in this piece here. Picked it up. Press release went out this morning. The Dan Bongino podcast and some other content from me will be moving on to radio. Now, what does that have to do with Sean? Because it is the Bongino Report PM show, 3 p.m. to 6 Eastern. I announced my return to syndicated radio. Doers are really upset. I can see them crying right now. Oh, this is so bad. Sorry, guys. So 3 to 4 will be Sean Farish live in the Bongino Report PM edition, 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern time on radio stations across the country. And then 4 to 6 will be my content from 4 to 6 p.m. Nationwide on a bunch of different radio stations. And I've got bad news for the doomers, the bums, and the grifters. There's even more good news coming. What do you think, guys? Maybe next week or another week? We're going to hope we can't launch all the good news at once. So just when you thought you kept the Bongino Inc. empire, there's the beach ball underwater, and it explodes, there's even more coming. So again, you may need to seek help now. But to all the fans of the show who understand who the good guys are and who the bad guys are, thank you for your support. We love you. Okay, enough of that. Some crazy good news. Thank you in the chat. American flags everywhere. Really appreciate it. We love you guys. There's a lot of demand for the content, and we appreciate you because you make it worthwhile. Thank you for seeing through this and sticking with us and knowing who the good guys are. We really appreciate that. I want to get to this. I had a whole different show planned in the beginning. Let's see the chat blowing up right now, so thank you. I had a whole different show planned in the beginning. The grifters, bums, zeros, doomers, and pillars, they picked the strangest bedfellows, and it's almost as if a small portion of the party, a very small portion of the party, they picked the strangest bedfellows and heroes, and a lot of people fell for it when the op was so clearly obvious. Like our heroes now are Luigi Mangione, Hunter Biden. No, those are not, that's not I want no part of that movement at all. And that's not our movement. It's so clearly an op, and now you're seeing it. Like, these are not our heroes. So we're going to get into that in a second, but I want to cover this first because it's unbelievably important. The media people and their cell phones, SELF, not cell phone like you'd make a call on. It never stops. First, we had the Air Force One story. I got an update on that at the end of the show. I have an idea. Now we've got a new story where the media puts this out. So new Attorney General confirmed, Todd Blanche, I think is going to do an amazing job. He appears on a weekend show this weekend with Kristen Welker from NBC. And he's asked a very simple question. And the media is blowing this up. Chuck Todd wet his diapers, clawing at his face, howling at the moon, screaming like a wussy werewolf, right? Screaming, oh my gosh, I can't believe this answer to this question. When there's nothing controversial about it at all. Todd Blanche just explained how government works. And the media's like, oh my gosh, the new Attorney General. I can't believe he said this. What did he say? Check this out.
Can you pledge that the Justice Department will always act independently of the White House?
Well, there's a big difference between saying we will always do our job and investigate any case and act independently of the White House. No, I'm not going to pledge that, and no Attorney General should ever pledge that. The president, I mean, if I were to pledge I will be independent of the White House, what that means is that if President Trump says, I want the Department of Justice to go after every violent criminal in this country, which is what he has said, what you're saying to me is I should say, no, sir, not going to do it. So I will act with integrity. Our prosecutors will act with integrity. We will prosecute without fear or any sort of favor. And that's exactly what we've been doing. And that's what every Department of Justice should do.
Well, I guess big picture, if the president asks you to do something that you feel crosses an ethical or legal line, would you do it?
The president will never ask me to do something unethical or legal or illegal. He never has. He never will.
Justin, were you a government major in college? You were not, correct? Andy, anyone? Guy? The left erupted over this, showing you again the face. When I joke around. Obviously, it's a joke about, although some of them may actually be clawing their faces, the crazy ones, but the clawing of the faces, the wetting of the diapers, the barking at the moon on the left, they went crazy over this. Chuck Todd had a total meltdown. I can't believe this guy was confirmed with that answer. What, folks in the chat, please explain to me what about that answer is controversial. The reason I bring this up, and I'm so sensitive to this, is I'm not in the FBI but 2 weeks. It's like February, March, I get the appointment in February, wind up over there in March, right? And I'm already hearing this like ruffle of feathers within the FBI, like our independence. I walk in there day one and day two and gave them the exact same answer. Folks, that is not how government works. Chuck Todd and others, can I please explain this to you? Change your diaper. Put some gloves on. You know the mittens they put on kids when they scratch themselves as newborns? Put them on so you don't tear your eyeballs out. Here's how this works. The people of the United States, i.e. you, citizens, well, in some places, who knows, right? Citizens vote for a president. Newsflash. Wow, this is crazy. The president selects a candidate for attorney general. Any problems? Anyone in the chat? Is anything I said so far controversial? The attorney general is then confirmed by a Senate elected. They weren't always throughout U.S. history, but they are now by the people of those states. Any problems? Any problems? So do we need a TO? Do we need a 20-second timeout? We do not. The FBI, I wish I had my FBI badge on me. I do not. The FBI on the top of the FBI logo is what? FBI? No. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, help me out. What is on top of the FBI's own insignia? It's not FBI. It's Department of Justice, headed by who? The Attorney General, picked by who? The President, and confirmed by who? The U.S. Senate, all picked by people. The FBI is not independent. The Department of Justice is not independent. It falls under the executive branch. I said to the agents, just like I'm sure Attorney General Blanche has said to his United States attorneys and staff, you're expected to exercise independent thought, make good decisions. That's why they hired you and not a bunch of freaking robots. You are not independent. What part of this is controversial? The president has an agenda. Shut the border down and crush crime. In their view of the world, fellas, it goes like this. The president tells the attorney general, we're going to crush violent crime and shut the border. And the attorney general and the FBI like, you know what, dude? Double barrel to you, man. We're going to do what we want. That's not the way this works. Folks in the chat, anything? Am I missing any? Please explain. Guys, if you see someone in the chat explain otherwise, like a system I'm unaware of, where there's a fourth branch of government called the Department of Justice and FBI, just let me know. Folks, this reminds me of the segment we did last week called Stupid Liberals Believe. I got to be careful with the cussing now that we got to package some content. Not all the time, but it makes it easier on poor producer Jim. Stupid liberals believe, okay? Don't worry. The real me comes out once in a while. Jim's just going to have to slice that up. Good luck. The problem is there are people, what we call Folex MAGA, fake Rolex MAGA, right? The fake watch in Times Square. Look, I got a Rolex for $25. That ain't a Rolex. That's a Folex. We have Folex MAGA too. People pretending to be part of our tent that now want to redeem Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's our new hero? Really? And you're proud of that? No. Now we're at the point where we're at stupid Folex MAGA believes. I want to show you what I mean. So this happened last week. Hunter Biden appeared on Tucker Carlson's show, and there's this big, Justin said he saw the Spider-Man movie. Did you not? I'm going to see, like how I tied this in just maybe 15 minutes ago, a minute before the show. He's like, I liked it, but I'm really getting exhausted with this villain redemption arc. Every bad guy in the Spider-Man movies has to turn around at the end and be like, I'm really sorry, my bad. Just be a bad guy, bro. Sometimes bad guys do bad stuff, okay? We're not doing that. You like that? That is a crazy parallel. Thank you. Self-praise stinks, but that is good. We're doing that now. You got people in Folex MAGA that have to redeem every evil villain on the other side, like Hunter Biden. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Watch this. This is from Patrick Bet-David's podcast. You'll see Vinny. Vinny's a good dude. You'll see them. They play first Hunter Biden on Tucker Carlson show, now claiming, hey, man, the drop off of the laptop, like trying to obfuscate the whole thing. There was a receipt for the laptop. I want you to watch this whole segment and think to yourself, is this a guy we want in the MAGA tent? Or is this an op? Because it certainly looks like one to me. Check this out.
I just want to ask you point blank. Look, did you drop off laptops?
No. And this is the thing that I've said over and over again. I have literally zero recollection or memory of ever dropping off a laptop.
You don't remember?
John Paul McIsaac. No, the answer is no.
I was high that
drunk
day.
Hang on. So John Paul McIsaac, who's legally blind,
yes,
who on the day when the laptop became public, sat outside of his shop and gave an interview and flat out says that he doesn't remember seeing me. He couldn't identify me.
Yes, I am visually impaired. I cannot drive. And yes, I have problems seeing past 5 to 8 feet without visual aids. Am I blind? Am I unable to see who I'm talking to or recognize a person when they come in, or recognize a person that's starring in their homemade porn as the same guy that dropped off the laptop? Or how about this for all the people that question my eyesight and my ability to see? I have pretty good hearing. Mm-hmm. So, the high-pitched, entitled voice of Hunter Biden rings in my ears every time I hear it. And I recognize that voice everywhere. So,
are we really doing this? The answer is we're not. I am elated, ecstatic that the grifting, dooming bums out there, seemingly all at once last week, all exposed themselves. No pun intended with Hunter Biden, although it could be. And that leads me to part two of this. This is a guy we want to welcome back in the MAGA tent? Welcome back as if he was ever there. This guy's filth. This guy's garbage. And we're promoting this guy? I don't understand. Like all the people who were talking about how, oh my gosh, we got to take care of like the kids and the elderly, and we got to take care of the manufacturing base. You don't seem to be worried about other kids. Here's John Paul McIsaac, the store owner who's crystal clear. I heard a voice that sounded like Hunter. I can see from 5 to 8 feet, just not beyond there. I saw what happened on the computer. There's a receipt for this whole thing with identifiers on it indicating it was Hunter Biden. And John Paul McIsaac says something even worse right here. And we're bringing this guy into the MAGA tent? Yeah, no. Check out part two of this interview with the computer store owner. And this part is even more disgusting. I'm sorry if you have kids around, but you need to hear it. We're not doing this. Check this out.
What's the one thing that you've been dying to tell everybody that you saw that you couldn't tell us the last time that's like, oh my God, so blatantly obvious, and one of the reasons he got a pardon?
I've always had a problem with the inappropriate relationship with Hunter's niece, his dead brother's kid. What shocked me even more was Jim Biden and Joe Biden and basically the family, the patriarchy, trying to do their best to come up with ways to silence the mother, to, we'll shove it down her throat was, I think, one of the quotes that I read when they were going to describe her drug use. And I thought that was probably the most horrible thing that a family could do to itself. And
just really quick, John, what the relationship, was it just drug use or was there something nefarious happening between those two?
It looked like Hunter was taking advantage of a young lady that kind of saw in Hunter a better man, probably a crush. So, there was a lot of inappropriate. I believe the mother was upset because Hunter was smoking crack naked in front of her during chat messages.
Folks, just to be clear, why are you asking us to pick a side? Because, folks, if we can't pick a side, this whole thing is going to fall apart. Do you want to be on the side of Hunter Biden, boner phone guy, the PR guy? Do you want to be on the side of every single thing Donald Trump sucks and all of the good guys who actually sacrificed and went in the administration and produced a bevy of documented results? Or do you want to be on the Hunter Biden team? The guy who is alleged to have inappropriate relations with young women. I mean, the list goes on. This is not your team. I'm sorry. I know it's not the team of the people who listen to this show. How do you not see what's going on if you're not one of those people? How do you not see this? This is your team? We're going to shove it down her throat? The Biden family's your new team. Folks, these people pick the strangest heroes too. Luigi Mangione, this guy's accused, actually at this point has pled guilty to the stalking component on the federal side. Luigi Mangione pleads guilty to federal stalking charges in the killing of United Healthcare CEO. There's no scenario by which this is okay. You would disagree with business decisions, so the option is, you know what, guys, murder. No, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. I got more on this coming up in a second, including talking about face clawing, diaper wetting, talking about the howling and barking at the moon. Sometimes they actually film themselves. You want to be on the side of these people? See what happened at the World War II Memorial? And they filmed it. Quick break. Back to the show. Hey, have you ever thought I should really be doing something to protect myself from stalkers? Talk about a time for, right? Scammers and hackers. You should, but you're not sure what? Here's what you need to do. This of all the products, folks, go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino today. Enter code Bongino. You get 20% off Delete Me. Why do you need Delete Me? What is it? Delete Me removes your personal information that is being sold online. These days, so much of our personal information is floating around the internet. Believe me, I know. And in the age of AI, that's a real concern. As someone with an active online presence, privacy is incredibly important to me, and I like having a service that does the hard work of finding and removing that information from data broker sites, so I don't have to. I don't have the time. It's too much danger out there. Take control of your data and your private life. Keep it private today by signing up for Delete Me. Delete Me. Now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino. Use promo code Bongino at checkout. Do it today. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/Bongino. Enter code Bongino at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/Bongino. Code Bongino. Do it today. Please don't wait. Protect your privacy. Today's show also brought to you by American Financing. Everyday expenses keep climbing. High credit card interest isn't making life for you any easier. If your budget's feeling squeezed lately, there's a smarter way to take back control. If you're a homeowner, your home equity is your best financial tool. American Financing can help you consolidate high-interest credit card debt so you have some breathing room. Timing matters now more than ever. With a strong chance of an interest rate hike this September, waiting could cost you thousands. And with rates in the fives, there's no better time to find out how much you could save. Ditch those 20% interest rates. By consolidating, you could slash your monthly obligations. In fact, American Financing borrowers save an average of $800 a month. Imagine what kind of cash flow that could do, what that kind of cash flow could do for your family. There are zero upfront fees, and you may even be able to delay up to 2 mortgage payments. That's great news. Lock in your lower rate before September, so call American Financing today, 888-994-7660. The number again is 888-994-7660. Easy to remember, or just write it down. Or you can visit them online. It's a .net address, americanfinancing.net/Bongino, americanfinancing.net/Bongino. Folks, just during the break there, I don't want to seem overly emotional about this, but this just occurred to me as I was just going through that the last second there. We can't do this, folks. There is a right and wrong moral arc of history. It's not what the left tells you it is. There are unalienable rights out there. We believe that, correct? We believe in big R, God-given rights we all have. We are not on the side of crack-using alleged sexual abusers. We are not on that. We're not on that. Corruptocrats. That is not going to be our team ever. We are not doing that. When you start to let that decay and you start to let that moral arc of history, being on the right side of what you know you know is the right thing to do. You feel it. It's God-given. He gave you judgment for a reason. You know you're turning into one of these leftists that treats people subjectively and wipes out everything. They don't care. There's no objective truth for them at all. That's how you get things like this. So there's been an arrest in this case. There was a defacing of the World War II memorial. World War II, you would think the greatest generation of American heroes that freed the world from the grips of fascism and the potential doom of totalitarianism and tyranny. If there was ever a group of heroes in U.S. history, there are lots of them. But the World War II generation, put up the picture of my grandfather first, if you don't mind. My grandfather fought in World War II. I'm so proud of him. He's not around anymore, Frank Bongino. I mean, if there is... My hero is Jesus Christ, but I've had heroes on earth. This is it right here. That's my grandfather and my grandmother. Look at him right there. See the resemblance a little bit? The square jaw. Now you know where I get it from. If there was ever a generation of heroes, that was it. Why would you show up at the World War II memorial defacing the place with spray paint? What kind of sickness is that? The answer is it's a sickness in Folex MAGA trying to infect you too. Take a vaccine that actually works, the truth vaccine. Do it today. I want you to watch this. Check this out.
Posted to Facebook Thursday, a woman appears to spray paint the World War II memorial and tell the camera she's ready to be arrested.
It was me. I'm doing it. I did it. It's on camera.
The video goes on to show the woman put something in the water that causes it to bubble. Police at this hour have not yet confirmed whether they've seen the video obtained by Fox 5 or made any arrests.
I can't believe that Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, has turned into this.
Tourists in town to see the monuments were stunned and were kept far back from the damage as police investigated. But photos by a local photographer show it up close. The words clean hands, dirty money, bubbles lingered for hours.
No, we're not doing that. We are not doing this, folks. We are not going to let our movement, Folex MAGA, take it over and mentally decay it into turning into a bunch of, screaming, barking at the moon, diaper wetting, face clawing, self-inflicting harm lunatics who will support anyone, alleged sex abusers. It doesn't matter. We're not doing that. Our movement is better than this. It's always been better than this. We've faced these kind of attacks before in the past, and we've done the cleanup work. We are not doing any of this. If the left wants to own this group of heroes, Hassan Piker and others, then let them own it. But there are no backsies. You are starting to see now people on the left realizing that we realized it early. Thanks to you for doing the work and cleaning up the MAGA movement and keeping Folex MAGA out. The left waited too long, folks, and now they're in panic mode. They've got a bunch of anti-American lunatics who hate Protestants, evangelicals, Jews, anyone. They've got them now in the tent and they can't get them out. It reminds me of that scene from World War Z when they jump over the wall in Jerusalem, and once like 5 or 10 get in, it doesn't matter. The whole place is, you got to just abandon ship. That's the point that left is at now. They don't know what to do. Here was Hakeem Jeffries, prominent Democrat, minority leader in the House, probably one of the top 5 most powerful Democrats in the country, maybe top 2, right? Here's Hakeem Jeffries on the weekend show trying to do the backsies thing, the trade back against the socialists. There's no backsies, bro. There's no backsies. And notice how he does it. But this is the problem I have with this. He doesn't fully disavow this socialist, tyrannical, communist movement within his party. He says they're gonna, and then he goes on to suggest that they have a big tent. No, there is no big tent. They are using your brand. Your brand is the Democrat Party. They are saying, we are you. If you say to them, yes, you're welcome in a big tent, you're not distancing yourself. In fact, you're welcoming them. Check this out.
Do you think, though, that there is room in the Democratic Party under the tent of the Democratic Party for Democratic Socialists? Is it big enough?
Well, listen, I don't support the DSA agenda as has been articulated by the DSA itself. Now, you're going to have individual members who have been elected in Democratic primaries, and if they are elected in the general in November, will be part of the House Democratic Caucus. It's going to be a broad caucus. There will be progressives, there will be New Dems, there will be Blue Dogs. What I'm excited about are the candidates who are running to flip seats in November to deliver us a majority that pushes back against Donald Trump's extremism and moves the country in the right direction.
No, that's not the way this works. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not the way this works. Members of the Bongino army out there, we don't allow this to happen. See, here's what they do on the other side. Let me walk you through a little media mechanics on how they do this. You get a Republican running for, I don't know, real estate appraiser in East Tuna Fish. It doesn't matter where it is. In state X. This Republican comes out and says something freaking crazy. I don't know, like makes an assassination threat. From that point on, every Republican in the country is then asked about whatever, tax collector guy in East Tuna Fish. Why? Because they say, no, this is your brand, the Republican Party. You're married to this guy no matter what. People are like, I don't even know this guy. I never met this guy in my life. And it doesn't matter how many times you say, that was really dumb, he should step aside. It doesn't matter. You'll be asked in the congressional elevator, whatever it is, the Senate elevator, the exact same thing the next day. Because why? The whole Republican brand has been tarnished. One rotten apple, that's it. The Democrats have a whole bucket of rotten apples. And Hakeem Jeffries cannot divorce himself from these people because they don't want to. There are no backsies. There are no trade backs. We're not letting it happen. You want to own this guy? Own this guy. Hat tip, Sarah Rose on X. This is probably the best tweet I saw last week. She's got, you know what? Put the video up first, and then I should have done it in reverse because some of you are listening on audio. This is an actual video of Abdul El Sayed. Is this like a Blues Clues thing? I don't even know what the hell. This is the craziest video. You want to own this guy? You want to own this fanatic lunatic? He's yours. No backsies, no trade backs at this point. He's your candidate in Michigan for Senate. You got him. Check this out.
You want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail.
This is
Thanks, mailbox. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. I wonder
Folks,
who
get
it's
out
from.
of it. Get out of this before
It looks like my ballot. Brought to me by my Secretary of State.
Justin, you're torturing me. I
And
can't.
with it, I can participate in democracy.
They're just doing
The first
this now
day
to
that I
make
can
it
turn
worse.
this in is
He
June
refused. I'm going to
25th.
go in there myself.
It has to be postmarked by...
I can't watch this. Sarah Rose put this out on X. I'm considering lesbianism after watching it. Folks, there's no backsies. You own this guy now. You refused early on to divorce yourself from these crazies. It's not just the dopey Blues Clues thing he did there. Forget, who cares? It's just stupid. That's not the point. Yeah, moderation. There's another devastating ad. Apparently, he had some involvement with an animal shelter, that the allegations at least are that he mistreated animals. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. Agree with me in the chat or don't. You know I'm right. Human beings, many of them, would rather be mistreated themselves than if you mistreat their animals. They just would. Am I right or am I right, fellas? They would. You know what? Whatever. You're a guy who shows up at my house or something like that, and you're dropping something off, and you're like, hey, by the way, I hate your show. Whatever. You let it go. You kick my dog, it's go time. Like, don't mess with America's pets. They're cats, they're dogs. Just don't do it. They're fish, they're turtles, they're whatever the hell you got. A ferret. It doesn't matter. Don't mess with their pets. What's that? Dan Wick, yeah, I knew that's the first one, right? They go after John Wick. That didn't end well for them. I have that Sand Viper gun, by the way. I have one of those, which is amazing. What is it, a Terran Tactical? Those things are badass. They're freaking amazing. I want you to listen to this. And in the background, very low, is Sarah McLachlan's In the Arms of an Angel song playing. My friend and I, we sing this song to each other when we're in a mood, when people start complaining. I mean, not well, but when people start complaining about first world problems, like, oh my God, here a guy about my Lamborghini needs to know. We're like, in the arms, like being smart asses. This is not funny. This is a devastating ad. I'm not sure how well this is going to play in Michigan. Check this out.
The best thing about training as a doctor was that
people brought you the gift of their vulnerability because they thought you could do something.
Dude, what is that? 4,000 kittens and puppies? Oh my gosh. took over the Detroit's health department and this animal control place, euthanized animals. Oh boy, folks, this is just, no, there's no backsies, man. There's no backsies. There's no trading back. You now own this guy. Good luck. Read some of this stuff on the screen. Abdul lied, dogs died. Hat tip Great Lakes HQ on X. Abdul lied, dogs died. That's pretty devastating. That's pretty, no backsies. You own him now. Here's another gem from Abdul Al Sayed's sister. Now, not him, granted. The sister's an interesting character too. I want you to pay very close attention to this clip where she talks about what power really looks like. She's like, listen, if I needed to amass some kind of power and political power, apparently she has some kind of academic position. Notice how the position to her is not about academics, but it's about power. Not like we've heard this before from tyrants and hardcore leftists, right? Check this out.
Fuck the University of Chicago. It's evil. Like, you know, it's a colonial landlord. Like, why would I put any of my political energy into this space? And I kind of had a little bit of disdain for like people who spent a lot of time doing that. But what we don't have is power. And I think for me, the question of base building is about, I think the question that I'm asking myself and I'm asking you to ask yourself is, where can I actually build power? Turns out I work at one of the biggest employers in the city of Chicago. I work at a place that is a landlord, a healthcare provider, a police force, fuck that shit, but they are, right? And a place where I have access to thousands of people that I could potentially organize. Actually, this is where I need to build power, right? Like, this is my best possible structural leverage.
The best part about this show is we just play their own words, man. I don't, there's nothing I need to add to that. You would think academia is about, yes, academics, academia, academic. No. No backsies, man. No backsies. And we will pin to them their own words, and we will pin to them facts, because they can't run away from that either. Gavin Newsom, hair gel, is going to run for president. We all know it, in 2028. He's going to run for president on what? The worst government organization bureaucracy for fulfilling actual results anywhere, comparably speaking, in the known world or universe. California, a state all people want to do is escape from, where the best business in California for growth is probably U-Haul and moving trucks. No. We're not letting you, no backsies. You're not running away from that. This came out last week in the New York Post. Kind of an interesting article. You're interested in your future. You're a young person who thinks socialism and the California model of government is appealing. You want a job? Because California, quote, staggering number of California jobless claims revealed as state employment blows away the rest of the United States. New York Post, August 13, 2026. That's so weird. California has wineries, oil, the tech business, Silicon Valley, has some of the most amazing research universities. Countless tech startups are there in San Francisco and elsewhere. You have cities everywhere, San Francisco, LA, San Diego, Sacramento. You have up and down. You have the most beautiful weather. You ever been to, California and Los Angeles and San Diego? The weather is just, it's picturesque. It's almost like they dialed it up out of like a manual. Like, hey, can you give us this weather today? And every single day it's like that. And you still can't produce a job record. And this guy wants to run for president? No, we're not letting them run away from that, folks. We're not letting them run away from that. We get to produce the opposite. We are the results administration. Everything I've told you about both the results me and Cash produced, the president produced, the DHS produced, and those are actual numbers. No, they're not record jobless numbers in California, those types of numbers. They're record arrests, border being shut down, crime being crushed, manufacturing returning to the United States. I bring this up because I'll let you know a little secret. I'm going to say who, but I got a couple calls this weekend and texts from friends of mine, some of them up on the Hill, and they were like, hey, man, we listened to your show on Friday, and that's a banger of a message. I just was, the thing went kind of nuclear, but I brought it up and I was pretty upset because I thought to myself, like, listen, this message is really simple. The message is clear. If we're going to run on three things, we should run on borders closed, crime being crushed, and manufacturing jobs are back. We're building stuff. The borders are closed. We crush crime. It's really simple. This is not complicated. Like, that's a 3-part message. I had a couple people reach out. They wanted to add stuff. Listen, you tailor whatever message you want. I'm not running for office. You are to your own district. I get it. I'm just saying, like, people think in threes. These are actual results. These are actual results. Borders closed, crime crushed. We're building things again. That's it. This message could not get any simpler. Those are real results. Manufacturing is returning. We put up the little montage on the Friday show. A bunch of people called. They're like, dude, I don't know why we're not doing this. I said, I don't know why you're not doing it either. We're acting like the president and his administration, they have nothing to run on because some doomer grifter bum who's got some of one of these weirdos on his show told you, like, oh, these guys are a disappointment. How are they a disappointment? How? Please explain how you're the disappointment. President Trump understands the messaging thing better than anyone. He's won multiple races. He gets it. The guy came out of nowhere, wins the presidency in 2016. Out of nowhere. You know, he had messed with politics a little bit before, but it's his first real run. And he wins what? Dog catcher? No, presidency of the United States. Here he is getting ready to board Marine One last week. And the memo apparently, you know, he's sending it out right now that we have a record to run on. All you've got to do is talk about it. Stop whining. We don't have. You do. Here's the results on the border. 15 months. 0 illegals admitted into the country. 15 months. Tell me where there's been a result like that in the past. Check this out.
Marks 15 straight months with 0 border releases as apprehension plus 94%. In other words, the border. And that means for 15 straight months, we had 0 people crossing the border. Are you impressed? Is anybody impressed? You are. Thank you. I'll give you the first question, therefore.
I don't understand. Again, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I mean it. I'm really trying desperately to understand. When you see the dooming and the grifting and Republicans talking a political playbook and others going, I don't know, man. We don't have a message. What do you mean exactly? What do you mean? Is that not a message for you? The American people voted to put 47 back in office because of chaos at the border. He gets in office within 2 weeks to a month, the border's effectively closed. These are real headlines. The White House is giving you an agenda to run. And this almost fits on a bumper sticker. Manufacturing jobs flock to the U.S. thanks to President Trump's agenda. Trump administration delivers 13 straight months of 0 release at the border, now 15. Crime plummets to another historic low under President Trump. What part of this is not, I don't understand. He's giving you this stuff. He gets it. Results matter. Are others getting it? How are you missing this? He's only been in office a little over like a year and a half now. Factor in the president-elect period where he gets to appoint some people and make some news. What has it been, about 2 years? What else did you want to happen in this last 2 years? The guy's dealing with a sliver of a majority. He's dealing with a couple of Republican senators who act like Democrats, and all of this stuff still got done. I'm not telling you there's not more to do. I'm not telling you that we should, everything's utopia, stop paying attention to things. I'm not telling you every single thing's gone swimmingly on the foreign policy side. No one's telling you that. But no one's produced these kind of results but this president. He's given you this on a silver platter. Folks, are others paying attention? Do results matter anymore? I bring this up because there's a stunning shift in messaging that I'm now starting to see. I need you to pay close attention to this because this is an issue that matters to you. Folks, we are in a staggering amount of federal debt, closing in on around the $40 trillion number. These are numbers that are just overwhelming. One of the problems we're having is I'm seeing this message inversion now, where you're seeing some people in what I would call the Folex MAGA movement who are starting to, they want to cleave off older. I'm not explaining this well. I get pissed off when I don't do this. It's my job to explain to you well. You know what? Let me take a quick break and get that. Let me get my thoughts together on this because it's super important you understand what I'm about to tell you. The bedrock of the Republican Party has been working men and women and a lot of retirees who busted their ass, the World War II generation and others. There is a very sophisticated messaging effort that very few people are talking about right now, but this show, to cleave those people off from the party and make you hate them. The boomers, the boomers, the boomers. You'll see what I'm talking about coming up in a minute. The weird thing is there are people on the left now starting to realize that these same seniors, that they can get them back if they do the opposite of what they did on the past. You'll see what I mean in a second. Our last break. Hey, Bone Charge is a holistic wellness brand I use dedicated to helping you perform at your best. Bone Charge is a science-backed tools, a company inspired by nature. They combine ancestral principles with modern innovation. Bone Charge is amazing. The result, smarter solutions to help improve sleep, to help with your energy and recovery and your overall life balance. You've heard me talk about Paula's love for the red light face mask. It's amazing. But my favorite product from Bone Charge is their infrared sauna blanket. The benefits of sauna, please look them up. Love sauna. Can't recommend it enough. The Bone Charge infrared sauna blanket is a game changer. It heats up fast. Takes under a minute to set up. Really easy. You can de-stress like I do after a long day with a 30, 40-minute session. You can watch TV, read a book, do whatever you want to do. Can help elevate your heart rate like a light workout, ignite a deep sweat, and leave you feeling calm and recharged like it does for me. I use it 4 or 5, sometimes 6 days a week. Bone Charge ships worldwide, offers free shipping, a 12-month warranty, and HSA, FSA eligibility. Go to bondcharge.com, BONCHARGE, bondcharge.com. Use code Bongino and save 15%. It's a big savings. That's bondcharge.com. Use code Bongino to save 15%. Bondcharge.com, code Bongino to save 15%. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease or condition. Bondcharge.com. Thanks, Bondcharge. We love them. Let me just show you what I mean right here. Do not fall for this op. Folks, I can't tell you enough. Our seniors, people who busted their ass, our Vietnam vets, our World War II vets, people who worked during the stagflation era of Carter, people who did not have flat screen TVs and read a True Tide and GLP-1s, and they woke up in the morning and if you're lucky, you had a donut and a cigarette for breakfast. These people busted their ass. They're the ones that gave you this country so you could live with iPads and phones and AI. How do you think we got here? You think we started the book in chapter 6? Chapter 1 was your fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, all the way back, fought wars. They toiled. They busted their ass. You know, I watched that show. You ever see the show on the History Channel? It's like with Dangerous Job, not Mike Rowe, I'm getting the title wrong, forgive me, but I just flick through it once in a while. Yeah, no, not Dirty Jobs, not the Mike Rowe show. There's another show about like how these jobs people, I watch this show all the time, how your fathers, grandfathers, and great-grandfathers, they were working in matchstick factories with white phosphorus and their jaws would fall off because it's so dangerous. Or people who worked in made hats, like actual hats, top hats, and they were used with, that's where the term Mad Hatter comes from. The chemicals were so dangerous. They would work with mercury. These people would die. They had, back then, I mean, life was hard, man. And now all I see is people crapping all out, boomers, seniors, they're screwing us over. You believe they're collecting Social Security, living high on the hog. Living high on the hog? They didn't live high. What are you talking about? This is an op on our side. You see these tweets everywhere. You know, I'm not suggesting this guy's what. Put up that from that guy Green. This guy's not an op guy at all. I'm not suggesting that at all. But you do see a lot of tweets like this around where people start. This is our Russ Green. Again, I'm not suggesting this guy's very fact-based on his stuff. But you see people run with stuff like this and add narrative kind of us story elements to it. Correct. The boomer economy is running on borrowed time. The timeline looks like, and he's right. He's 100% correct. 2030, U.S. debt passes its World War II level. 2032, Social Security goes bankrupt. 2033, Medicare Part A goes bankrupt. Those are optimistic assumptions, he notes, by the way, about interest rates, supply chains in China. Add volatility, it's accelerates. He is right. I'm not going to skip, but you're seeing other people trying to divide our side that take this stuff and they don't make it about the facts like he does here. They make it about envy, like you believe those seniors, they stole from you. You're paying their Social Security. No, we're not doing that. We have a problem to fix. The crazy thing is, even leftists who told you Social Security, it's a great model, give your money to the government, even now they're now starting to realize as this thing goes bankrupt in 2032, that all of the stuff they said on tape for the last 30 years, don't dare. Seniors put their money in accounts they control in the stock. That's crazy. Give it to the government. They're starting to realize right now that there's no money in 2032. And all that stuff they said, they're going to be held to account. You've got Democrats like Bill Maher now saying, hey, I can't believe we didn't have that money in the market the whole time. Look at all the returns over the... Who said that? Who's been saying that? Who's been saying that? Justin's like, I don't know. You've only been talking about this forever. Matter of fact, audience archivist Judy, who did us a great favor, said, Dan, you mentioned this the first time it was episode 547 back in September of 2017. There's the actual link. She emailed us. Episode 547 on Social Security, September 14, 2017. Do you have any idea how rich you'd be? The stock market is up tens and hundreds of times depending on sectors. Instead, you got stuck with a government IOU. Here's Bill Maher saying, hey, we got a problem. Check this out.
I remember George Bush wanted to put the money that when you start paying into Social Security when you're 20 or 18 or whatever it is, into the stock market. And he would, what a terrible idea. Not a terrible idea. You're not going to be able to touch it till you're 65 anyway. Look at the chart of where the money in the stock market, it outpaces just putting in the bank by exponential number.
Yes.
So why didn't we do that? Well, because politics, I guess. It didn't seem like it. This seems like it's the same thing.
Well, this is, I think, a little different because people don't, I think people are, I actually don't know what the investment rules are around it, but the idea that you're starting so early just gives it, time is just such an accelerant when it comes to being able to grow wealth and being able to start so young. I'm hoping that will help these younger generations, especially kids who are not coming from white families or families where they're going to be able to inherit that wealth. I think it's going to be hugely helpful.
I'm on your side. I can't say this enough. Please don't, listen, send me nasty grams for whatever you want, as long as you don't threaten me or anything. Just don't do that. That's like an N-wall, okay? I am on your side. Can we stipulate a couple of points here? Point number one, please, I am on your side. You are correct. You lived a lot harder than we did. You paid into a system. Point stipulated. Point two, they stole your money. I'm just telling you they stole your money. Your money could have been in equity funds, bond funds, and the amount you would have in there now, which you would own, would have exploded. You would be essentially rich right now if you had just started paying in, 50, 60 years ago. You did pay in, but paying into accounts you controlled rather than letting the government steal them. Even lefties are starting to realize, hey, man, this is a problem. I don't understand. You keep railing, these lefty guys sound like Joe Pesci. You guys on the left keep railing it. I can't believe all these rich stock owners, private equity. You could have been involved in this too. Instead, you stole people's money. You stole it. Everything they tell you is a lie. Everything they tell you is a lie. There's no backsies on this. Whether you're a fan of George W. Bush, I had some comments about the George W. Bush presidency. I was not happy with a lot of it. However, his idea about allowing Social Security recipients to control their own accounts was way ahead of its time. He wasn't wrong. The Democrats were, and they attacked him for it. You'd be loaded right now. And then what do? They throw at you, well, at least with all of that government interference, we should be more like Sweden. Even lefties are starting to come around to this BS narrative now. Ladies and gentlemen, I've told you over and over, every time your lefty friend says, we need to be more like Sweden, they're socialists. They're not socialists. Even Fareed Zakaria on CNN is starting to realize this talking point's going nowhere. You got a bunch of lefties now saying, hey, man, we're not going to be able to run from this. Like sooner or later, facts are going to catch up. Facts are going to catch up in the AI era. This is not a viable storyline anymore that we should become more like Sweden because Sweden's not like Sweden. Sweden is moving to privatize most of its economy, engage in free markets and growth so that they don't go bankrupt. You doubt me? This is a lefty on CNN telling you. Check this out.
Often still remembered fondly by progressives everywhere as the poster child for democratic socialism, the country in fact has made a remarkable pivot toward an entrepreneurial free market economy. For much of the 20th century, Sweden was a pioneer of the generous welfare state, but that era belongs in the past. Public social spending, including on education, healthcare, and pensions, has fallen to roughly 24% of the economy. That is near the US level, far below France or Italy. Sweden's government debt is just 36% of GDP, much lower than the US, which now stands at more than 120%. And despite its small population of under 11 million, Sweden has produced a remarkable number of tech unicorns, startups worth more than $1 billion, which includes Spotify, Skype, and the mobile payment company Klarna. As Lars Junung, former chief economic advisor to Carl Bildt in the 90s, notes, we have put a capitalist revolution into a former, very strongly socialist-oriented society.
And Sweden's cracking down on open borders too. We want to be more like Sweden. Okay, you agree? Sounds good to me. Moving more towards a free market economy and shutting down the borders. I like that. Sounds like we are moving towards Sweden. Sweden and us are converging. You realize these people lie to you all the time? They lie to you all the time. They're starting to realize the self-SELF owns as they faceplant are starting to catch up in the AI era as it's getting really difficult to lie to people because they can just punch it in ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok and say, hey, is Sweden socialist? And they're going to realize they got lied to. They were lied to repeatedly. Folks, these people with the cell phones too, I can't. Do you believe this Air Force One story? Folks in the chat, before I even say, are you sick of this story? Because I am. Why you bring it up? I'm not. They are. I'm sitting home this weekend, and the media, where Donald Trump was removed from the plane in Turkey in a catering truck in a pretty brilliant Secret Service op to get him off the plane to put him on another plane while they also secured the other plane and got everybody home safely. You would think this op would be celebrated. Wow, they were dealing with a potential surface-to-air missile killing the president. Secret Service gets him home safely, gets everybody else home safely too, and the media is still bitching and moaning. Who said that? Yes, you. Carlos Nasser, I know you from the chat. Me too. Me too. However, the Washington Post this weekend, they cannot let this thing go. Here, they were on the plane when Trump secretly left. Here's what they noticed. They're still going with this story. So I have a solution. As I thought to myself, okay, if you keep talking about it, sounds like you're just whining too. What's your solution? What's your theory, Tommy? But I got a theory, and I decided to put it out there. I read this tweet by Mark Deason, and he's absolutely right. Mark Deason said, listen, you guys don't have to be there. He said Trump's faced 3 attempts on his life, more than any other president. Fact. The Secret Service puts his, by the way, those are the only ones we know about. God only knows how many have been thwarted. The Secret Service puts his protection first. If you're a journalist and you don't like that, I have a simple solution. Don't fly in Air Force One. Get your own damn plane. So I responded to Mark. I thought this is absolutely correct. I said, listen, as a guy who's flown on Air Force One countless times, put that tweet up. I have a solution. There's 2 options here, okay? The seats on the plane, by the way, are precious. The seats in the back are reserved for the press, and there's a lot of them. I'm not going to say how many. Let's say it's more than 5, less than 50, but a big portion of the plane is reserved for the press. Why? Because the White House staff and the president are really, really nice to the press. I thought they hated the press. They may not like the press, but they still believe in an open society. We don't need all those members of the press there. You need one guy, basically one guy or woman, and you basically a camera. That's it. You don't need 15, 20, 50 people back there in the back of the plane because it's really, leave this up for a minute if you don't mind. This is my tweet back. I said, despite the need for other essential staff and personnel to be aboard the plane, an entire section is reserved for the freaking press pool. So if the press pool has the SADs, because there's this threat surrounding President Trump everywhere he goes, well, here's what they should do. Designate one pool member and a camera to ride with the president. So God forbid something happens on the plane, there's breaking, they can get it right away. There you go. Put one person on there. You don't need 15, 20 to 50 people on the damn plane. Nurse your boo-boos. There's a support plane. There's a press plane. Go on that plane. It'll free up seats for people who actually matter. Or number 2, you can shut them and stop whining like 5-year-olds in grade school detention. Gosh, it's exhausting dealing with these people. Enough with this. Just get off the plane. Get off the plane. The White House should switch this thing up tomorrow. Say, being that you guys are so worried about the security threat that's not going away, unfortunately, people want to kill the president. I wish it weren't the case. Just get off the plane. Designate one person, man or woman, who can be the press rep. Get a camera if you need, whatever. Make sure it's someone with balls who's not worried that they're on a plane with the president, and stick them on there. What do you think of my solution? We're good? We're good. Just get off the plane. And then you had this Lawrence O'Donnell meltdown last week from MSNBC complaining. Remember Larry, the producer Jim put together something for us in a moment. I had not seen this. I didn't realize there was like a naming ceremony and a uniting of the crowns and stuff. If you missed this, don't go anywhere. This is a gem. Remember Lawrence O'Donnell on MSNOW having a meltdown about this last week? Lawrence O'Donnell's so brave. The Stop the Hammering guy. Here's a little reminder in case you forgot this. Check this out.
To Donald Trump, heroism is something defined by movies, not by real life. And so he thinks of heroism as nothing but movie tough guy heroism, a purely fake kind of invented heroism. That is why Donald Trump posts fake images of himself like this. No president has ever done more than Donald Trump to reveal himself to be a deeply cowardly man, and no president other than Donald Trump would ever dream of trying to create a courageous image of himself by turning himself into a fake movie character and publishing a deeply perverse photograph like that one that we just showed you.
As we said, if there was only a photograph out there of President Trump acting heroically under fire. Lawrence somehow missed that. He's a media guy, right? He's a journalist, interested in facts. Yeah, unlike, the human shields op in the United, unlike others. So producer Jim put this piece together. Some of you may have seen it. There was already Muttley's in the chat. I haven't even played it yet. Some of you already know it. How do you get Muttley's in the chat? I haven't seen it yet. He said it's my first... preemptive Muttley's in the chat. Producer Jim put this together we have a nickname for Lawrence now. And Jim took it and ran with it. This is some freaking genius stuff. Producer Jim, hat tip to you. Check this out.
Soon on DNC TV, winter is coming. All the great houses are about to be ruled by an unexpected leader. Let the seven bear witness. Lawrence O'Donnell is the true heir to the porcelain throne.
The porcelain throne.
Oh, hail Lawrence the Pussy, first of his name, king of the awfuls and the trans men, and lord of the 7 networks.
He is a man defined by
a purely fake kind of invented heroism.
After being captured by King Trump, Lawrence struggled with his sexuality.
That could have been a woman, and it might be a woman the next time.
But he was determined to rule under one singular focus.
Stop the hammering. Stop the hammering out there. Who's got a hammer? Where is it?
Lawrence O'Donnell in the newest addition to the GOT universe.
Go up on the other floor. Somebody go up there and stop the hammering.
Lawrence the Pussy, stopping the hammering.
Now you know why producer Jim earns the big bucks. He just takes, I didn't even think of that. I had no input in that. What he does is Jim just takes the stuff from my show. He doesn't tell me. And I get a random text at night with an audio file, sometimes with no context at all. It's like, hey, check this out. This is producer Jim. This guy's got a mind, man. He is a great job, producer Jim. We really appreciate it. Molly's in the chat. We live for this kind of stuff. This makes the show a little different. We can throw you a bunch of results and spreadsheets, but you got to laugh a little bit too, or it's just not going to be entertaining. You're not going to want to come back. So we love having you. Again, huge announcements, folks. I'm going to pick the comment of the day in a minute. You know about our contest, by the way? If you don't, it's been quite a few weeks now. It's the Bongino 1776 Live Club. Every day we're giving away, every week we're giving away $1,776 to a listener. Why? Because we love you. We just like to give away money. See official rules at Bongino.com/1776. I'll show you the comment of the day in a second. I just want to remind you again, huge launch. Thank you so much for your support. Said at the beginning of the show, I don't want to just keep talking about it, but I really owe you guys everything. I don't want you to ever think I take you for granted. I do not. I know there's a bunch of doomers and grifters trying to turn the good guys into bad guys and bad guys into good guys. I know you see through it. Thanks for supporting the show. There's been tremendous demand for it. So we're back. This show is going to be moved on to radio with other content, 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern time every weekday with Sean Farish and me, Bongino Report, PM launching. We're super excited about it. More announcements coming soon. And Sean's show, say it slowly, launches today as podcast at 1 p.m. That's a separate show. 1 p.m. Eastern time, rumble.com/Sean. Don't miss that. You got Haley every single day at noon, of course, and Vince every morning at 8 a.m. Download the Rumble app. Don't miss out on that. It is absolutely free. Download it on your smart TV. But first, yes. Wait, let's pick a comment of the day, though. And then because I got this thing. We really did this, by the way. We're hoping she responds. But yeah, this was brilliant by Justin. Very professional, too. Stay tuned. But what's the comment of the day for today? Wow, can you guys make that any small? Yes, I think I can. Let me try. I'm 51. My ears are terrible. I can barely hear anything. But no, I got it. Casey Chiefs 371984. The Republicans are not the answer to all our problems, but the Democrats are certainly the cause of all our problems. I don't know where you got that from, but it's genius. Someone really smart said that once. It's Sun Tzu? I'm pretty sure it was not Sun Tzu. I don't think there were Republicans. If you read The Art of War, I would love that quote. Can anyone find, don't waste your time. It's not in The Art of War, but that's very funny. A really smart guy said that. I'm kidding. Self-praise things. Thank you, KC Chiefs 371984. You are the comment of the day. So last week we told you about what I think is the most unintentionally hilarious article of the year in the Wall Street Journal. This article that Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan in Minnesota, who is won the nomination for the Senate race, U.S. Senate race in Minnesota, sent out an email blast saying, she's of course a liberal communist Democrat, saying, look at me, I'm going to be the first Native American woman in the Senate. And I thought, I'm not even being like a tool about it. I thought that's kind of weird. Like Elizabeth Warren, the senator from Massachusetts, correct, has already told us she's Native American. So that would be a conflict, right? Like it's kind of like identity politics, stolen valor stuff, right? So Justin was quite annoyed about the whole thing. And very professionally, by the way, Justin sent an email to the press office. Have we gotten a response yet? We have not. Okay, there's no response. So I don't know why she's not responding. Justin B. to the press office, request for comment. Dear Senator Warren's team, I'm writing on behalf of the Bongino Show. We've noted that the Senate candidate Peggy Flanagan's publicly claimed that if elected, she'd be the first female Native American U.S. Senator. As you are aware, Senator Warren has previously identified herself in that capacity. I'm reaching out for two reasons: to ensure your office is aware of these statements and to request an on-the-record comment regarding Senator Warren's response to Ms. Flanagan's claim. Please let us know if the senator or spokesperson would be available to provide a statement. We're happy to accommodate any preferred format or a deadline. Thank you for your time and consideration. Very professional. I look forward to your reply. So she's welcome on the show. I think it's only fair that she explained this away, folks. Correct? I mean, she's claiming this thing that she was the first Native American powwow, chow, high cheekbones, pawpaw, whatever. And now it's like stolen, identity politics, stolen valor. Thank you, Justin. Very professional. All right, folks, as I said, thanks again for tuning in. You got Haley coming up at noon, rumble.com/Haley. Vince every day at 8 a.m. and now Sean at 1 p.m., all Eastern time, of course. Don't miss the Bongino Report family. If you want to watch on the web, by the way, Justin loves this. He put it together. Rumble.com/Bongino. It is absolutely free. Click that follow button for free while you're there. We really appreciate it. I will see you back here tomorrow. Thanks again for your support at 10 a.m.
Hey there, I'm Vince.
I'm Haley Carania.
I'm Sean Farish. Host of Vince.
Host of Scrolling with Haley.
Host of Sean Farish Live. You can always catch my show right here.
Right here on the Bongino Report channel.
Live, 8 a.m. Eastern, weekday mornings.
Noon weekdays.
1 p.m. Eastern time.
And if you miss it, no worries. The show will always be right here and anywhere you find a podcast. Thanks for watching.
And thank you for your attention to this matter.